live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
2 News Live in downtown Salt Lake City, a snowy downtown Salt Lake City. It is Wednesday, January 10th, going in depth on the obvious. It is snowing. We've got another first alert weather day, and of course we have some team coverage tonight here on 2 News Live, maybe a snowball or two. As we go in depth tonight, we would love to hear from you. Just use the hashtag 2 News Live to join our conversation. You can get in touch with us throughout the evening by using that hashtag, and of course you can find us on the socials, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Just, get into any of those platforms to weigh in. Let's get to some of our coverage here with our meteorologist Trent Parker. We'll get to him in just a sec. I believe it's Trent tonight. I thought he was going to be out here with me, but let's take a live look at road conditions. Do we have a picture there, a location perhaps? I-15, all right, I-15. So yes, a classic I-15 shot with some snow. Good to know. Obviously, let's turn to meteorologist Trent Parker, who's here tonight, joining us out here with the Gallivan Plaza backdrop here as the snow continues to fall. Hey, fashionably late, made me stall there, made me tiptoe, and made it seem like I knew what I was doing.
I had to get a warm-up lap in before I came out.
I know, you didn't do the lap around the Gallivan Plaza here.
No,
all right,
but I got the Kinko mittens on. Let's go.
Well, I think it's obvious what is happening here in Salt Lake City and throughout parts of northern and central Utah. Is this a statewide storm? Is this a statewide squall?
It is going to be. It's not currently. The band of snow really has pushed through Utah County at this point, and we're waiting for more of that southward progression. Eventually, it's going to hit Cedar City late tonight, and then even St. George getting a little bit of snow tomorrow morning. It's not going to pile up a whole lot down in Washington County, but you might see a couple snowflakes falling out of the sky. So let's go ahead and get to what we're looking at tonight as far as our weather goes. Here's a live look up at the Alta Snow Stake where, we got 4 inches, and I believe they cleared that right around 4 o'clock. So we're looking at 4 inches in maybe just about 2 hours or so. So it is currently coming down hard in Little Cottonwood Canyon, 16 inches in the last 24 hours up there. And as a result, all that heavy snow, the wind, avalanche danger is high right now. Please, country, make sure that you are aware of these conditions, and please stay off and out from underneath slopes that are steeper than 30 degrees. Our western snowpack is starting to recover. We're starting to see more of those 60s and 70% start to pop back up across the west, including California now above 50%. Oregon making the leap from 40% up to 73% over the last couple of days. So we've had some snow hammering the west, and it's going to continue for the next couple of days. So hopefully we'll be back in the green over the next couple of days here as we get in across the west, across the state of Utah. And things are starting to recover. We're back up to the 78% here across the Cottonwood Canyons in that Utah Provo River area, and still struggling down in southern Utah, but hopefully from last night, 103 miles an hour at Hidden Peak, top of Snowbird. North of Brigham City, we got up to 70 miles an hour, and then 60 mile an hour gusts, pretty widespread across most of northern Utah. And tonight, well, the winds weren't quite as strong. We saw those gusts mostly in the 50 mile an hour range. 40s, Corner Canyon down in Draper, Summit Park 46, Provo Canyon 45, Lake Point 45 as well. So not quite as strong tonight, but the snow is still coming down. And if you're headed up skiing tomorrow, it's probably going to be one of the best days out of the next couple, because the winds are going to be light and that snow is not going to be quite as heavy, but we still are expecting snow across much of northern Utah with those high temperatures in the teens and 20s. Yeah, that's right. Those are high temperatures. So single digits down in southern Utah. Your wind speed forecast as we head through the next couple of days. Thursday morning, like I said, pretty light winds through much of the day on Thursday. So that's going to be your best day to get up there. Hopefully they have some terrain openings and the lifts won't be shut down. Or Friday morning, I should say, is when we get some of that wind really kicking up. So I expect some wind holds Friday through much of the day across the entire state. So it's kind of a no-go day. We're going to have some heavy snow as well. So conditions traveling up and down the roads are going to be pretty darn bad. I mean, Saturday morning, still seeing those wind gusts up into the 20-30 mile an hour range. So Saturday, another good day, but we have heavy snow coming in this weekend. Again, live look at our radar right now. As you can see, we have that snow falling. Of course, here in Salt Lake County, we continue to get hammered with that snow. Utah County seeing a little bit of snow right now, and that band of snow continues to push south through the evening tonight. So let's go ahead and track it for you on the latest track. As you can see, right around 7 o'clock is when we have that band pushing south through southern Utah County into Richfield by 11 o'clock. Delta seeing a little bit of that Cedar City, that snow starting right right up around midnight to 1 a.m. St. George, you're likely to see some snow into the early morning hours, probably wrapping up right around 4 or 5 a.m. And then tomorrow, actually pretty clear across much of the state, but as you can see, we do have a little bit of lake enhancement or lake effect going on here in Salt Lake County, just south and east of the Great Salt Lake. And if you're headed to the Denver Nuggets and Jazz game tonight, please take into account your transportation methods. Maybe think about taking the tracks. It's good. It's a really good option when the roads are this messy as they are right now. And down in St. George, we're dealing with the 40s for the next couple of days. We'll get up to 50, and that's as close as we'll get really to normal high over the next 4 or 5 days. Might even hit 53 on Wednesday, but pretty quiet down there in southern Utah. Here in Salt Lake City, we still have 4 first alert weather days through Sunday because of that snow. It's going to be even heavier this weekend. We already have a winter storm watch in effect for our area. Temperatures mostly hanging out in the 30s, but tomorrow 28 and Monday 28, and then those overnight lows dropping into the teens, Brian. So yeah, I mean, we're going to have to stay bundled up over the next couple of days, and we asked for the snow, and we're getting it. So I don't know what else we want. What else do we want?
I think you want a snowball. I worked on that during your forecast.
Beautiful. Look at that.
I was thinking about like a nice toss your way, but this thing firmed up pretty good.
That is nice.
Listen, I know we're obviously having a good time here being out in the snow, but the real concern is everyone on the roads, and I want you to know there are ways that you can keep track of this storm. If you're not watching on TV, maybe you're not watching the program, all you have to do is download the 2 News Weather app to know about the changes in your neck of the woods. And of course, that is important because you can get the live radar right on your phone. The app is free to download. We've got to continue our team weather coverage here. Roads are expected to be slick, of course. I imagine they already are, depending on the location. Ariel Harrison joining us live for the second night in a row from the Mobile Weather Lab. Ariel, we got it in Salt Lake City. Where are you at right now, and how are the conditions?
Yeah, Brian, we passed you in downtown not too long ago. We're coming up on the south side of Salt Lake. Probably approaching, well, here coming up on 33rd South, so we're approaching the Murray area. You can see, though, if you take a look at the roads, snow's accumulating just a little bit. Conditions haven't been too slick by any means, which has been good, but you can see that we are in the bulk of the rush hour traffic, which is pretty routine for this time of night, honestly, on I-15. We just did see a fleet of snowplows pass us on northbound I-15. The traffic you can see and the dash camera is what you can see is following. Well, now that there's this barrier, it might be a little more difficult to see, but they had a lot of traffic behind them as they were clearing the roads. What we're seeing southbound, though, in addition to a little bit of snow, I think people are taking precautions. They are going a little more slowly. For instance, our speeds right now, we're at 20 miles per hour. We've been taking it a little more, we've been moving along more quickly, I'd say, than other lanes here in the carpool lane. But yeah, people are taking it slow. Snow's accumulating a little bit on the roads, but it is melting, creating some slushy conditions, but not too bad. Nothing that I've felt sliding or experiencing on some of the surface streets when we were up farther north in, say, the Weber, Davis County areas. But yeah, Brian, it's slick. It's storm number 2. Hitting just in time for the evening commute. It's going to be a slick one. You'll just want to take it extra slow. So not too bad, though. Happy to report just a lot of traffic.
And Ariel, I was going to say that it's hard to make those mistakes if you're just kind of crawling along with everyone else. And after looking at the traffic map, it seems like everyone is just keeping it low and slow because of obviously the visibility and the evening commute. So I hope you and your photographer, I believe Randy's there with you, I hope you both do the same here and take it easy tonight. Thanks for joining us on 2 News Live. Let's give you another live look tonight from a UDOT camera in the neck of the woods of Utah County, right? Lehigh. Hey, where is everybody? What's going on here? Let's take a closer look at this camera. You can see some flashing lights off in the distance. There is everybody. They got the flashers on, low visibility. Boy, the other day we had some crashes and spinouts in the American Fork area when that road just turned into a sheet of ice. That was in the early morning hours, but can't see anybody from the other side of the freeway. That is a bad sign. Hopefully we can get some information on what gives with the northbound lanes, because this is the evening commute. There should be somebody moving throughout this roadway here. And as I look at this monitor here, the UDOT camera, definitely not seeing any traffic on the northbound side. We're going to work and see if there's some sort of holdup or a crash or some sort of disruption, because there's got to be people on the roads tonight. Let's get to our team coverage in Utah County. Daniel Woodruff there for the second straight night covering squalls. Daniel, you are squalling with us. What gives in Utah County tonight as things moved in? How's everybody doing there, and how's everyone prepared?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Brian, we just arrived in Utah County because it took us well over an hour just to travel from downtown Salt Lake City to the point of the mountain, where right now there is a lot of wind blowing snow. It's been coming down in quite heavy gusts, and traffic on I-15 has just been horrendous, really slow for a lot of the time. I had the chance earlier to catch up with some drivers in Lehigh to talk about yesterday's snow squall and what they were prepping for today.
It was pretty crazy that we tried to go up this hill over here, and there was so many cars that they couldn't make it. It was kind of, I'm lucky I'm in a van because it's nice and heavy. I feel like lighter cars aren't making it at all.
Whiteout conditions yesterday?
100%. Yeah, you couldn't see anything outside. Like, I couldn't see the highway from my house, and we're like right off the highway.
I was reading a book, and then suddenly I looked out my window, and it was completely white, so.
But you didn't have to drive in it?
No, thankfully not.
And that's really the benefit for those that don't have to drive in this storm. Don't, because it is awful. We can attest to that personally, and it's not very fun outside, Brian.
All right, Daniel, safe travels home tonight after your report. Thanks for joining us on 2 News Live and talking to some folks who have either been through it or are dealing with it tonight. Thank you, Daniel. Let's take another live look at the roads here. Sticking in Utah County, I-15 Pleasant Grove. What a mess. What's the top speed there? 13 maybe in the left lanes there. Heading southbound. At least you're seeing that northbound traffic. We saw nothing on that Lehigh camera, and that is concerning. I did just check the UDOT traffic app and was looking around at some of the platforms there. Couldn't see much about a crash, but there are a number of roadway restrictions. There are a number of concerns for some of those mountain pass areas, those higher elevations, obviously the Cottonwoods, obviously Sardine Canyon, obviously a lot of these places that experience the brunt of this winter weather when it's moving through. As we're back out here live outside of 2 News studios here in downtown Salt Lake City on 2 News Live. I want to continue our team coverage tonight because we've got the whole I-15 corridor covered for you, obviously with our mobile weather lab and Daniel Woodruff in Utah County. Let's see where Emma Riley's at in Davis County. Emma, looks like you've got a Main Street stop here. Where are you in Davis County, and how are the conditions there? What are you seeing?
Yeah, right now we're in downtown Ogden, and I was telling them in the 5 o'clock they missed all of the action out here because it was really pouring from about 3:30 to 4:30. There was so much snow out here. You couldn't even see the roads, and the roads are pretty messy as a result. I mean, cars are driving pretty slowly out here, but yeah, there's still so much snow out here on the sidewalks. The businesses have been shoveling out here, but yeah, about an hour or so ago, there was so much snow out here. But yeah, I talked to some people earlier who work in downtown Ogden, and they said that it took them an hour and 10 minutes to get through Sardine Canyon yesterday into Cache County because of the snow squall. So they were prepping to leave downtown Ogden at about 3 o'clock today to hopefully avoid all of that traffic.
All right, Emma Riley, same thing I said to Daniel and Ariel. When you're hitting the roads later, please be safe, take it slow, all that good stuff. You're out there obviously doing this for a reason, so thank you. Another look at that camera here in Lehigh. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this, but it's not common to see the I-15 freeway and the interstate with no one on it. And you're seeing a slow brigade of northbound traffic coming to the camera lens right now. So let's keep it here for just a sec. I don't know if UHP did one of their slowdown maneuvers. Perhaps there was a spin out somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised given the conditions you're seeing. The road is basically fully covered there in Utah County. Coming at here live, a reminder, obviously, if you have pictures and you have videos that you would like to share with us, you can always do so by using our Chime In feature. You can do it easily from your phone. Not difficult to do. All you have to do is download the 2 News mobile app. You can also do it on our website, KUTV.com. You can also scan the QR code on your screen right now. Let's hold it. Well, we lost it. Back out here live in Salt Lake City. You know, we talk about avalanche concerns in Utah quite a bit, and we've shown you the map where there's a high danger rating right now from northern Utah all the way down in towards the central Utah mountains, and you'd have to imagine that more areas are going to get involved. But earlier today in California, an inbounds avalanche at Palisades. This is a scary situation. We talk about the situation that can take place in the backcountry, but you always have a sense of security and feeling typically when you are inbounds. I do want to say there always is a risk. If you're in certain areas, if you're going into a gated area, specifically one that does get mitigation on the daily or any snowstorm that comes through, this can happen. One person is dead and another injured after the slide inbounds at Palisades Tahoe. This is the resort near Lake Tahoe. Happened this morning on some pretty steep slopes. You were getting a live look at some of that camera there, and they would say, concerning situation because they have so much that goes into place. The ski patrollers work so hard to open terrain because people want to get out there and they want to get after those conditions, and that is a tough thing to report tonight. Let's go back out live with the camera here. Oh, West Valley City, Mountain View corridor getting into the action. That is a miserable road between Mountain View and Bangerter. When conditions are ugly, that is a road, if you can avoid it, would highly recommend. The amount of times that we have covered some really awful situations in terms of just whiteout conditions, slick spots. You can see it, everything is kind of reduced to one lane of travel on the northbound side there on Mountain View corridor. I mean, this is interesting, Trent, because we saw this move in a little bit differently yesterday. The timing is unique today to where things, my goodness, I'm getting getting it in the eye here.
Right in the peak of the commute.
Yeah.
Is what you mean to say, right? Instead of the later commute. But yeah, I mean, please, when you're out there today, if you have to go out, please don't go out if you don't have to go out. But don't pass plows. I mean, that's just a horrible thing to do. It's not safe for you. It's not safe for the plows. And then also another mention on that avalanche story out of California. If you have the equipment to be riding inbounds with potentially your beacon, shovel, probe, those kind of avalanche gear, and you have the knowledge to do so, there's no shame in doing that, right? Because, I mean, Ski Patrol has the ability to mitigate some sort of the risk, right? They try to mitigate most of the risk and all the risk that they possibly can, but there still is that risk, especially when you're skiing at some of those steeper resorts and the snow and wind just won't let up. There's only a certain amount that the Ski Patrol there can do. So yeah, please take it easy. Even if you're just riding inbounds over the next couple of days, things are going to be pretty sketchy, and things are going to start to slide that you normally don't see slide on a daily basis.
I had to exit the frame for a sec. I got squalled right here.
Right in the eyeball.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to keep looking at you for a sec.
We should have brought goggles.
I know. This would have been prime goggle weather. So before we exit the program here, again, the timeline, if you could. When are things moving through? When are roads going to start to have the ability for crews to be able to keep up with the snowfall that is coming down at a really good clip here, especially downtown?
Well, it seems like right around 7 or 8 o'clock, the snow showers here in Salt Lake County will start to reduce in their strength. But as you can see down in Draper, I mean, things are still going, especially on the southern end of Salt Lake County into Utah County. And then that snow band's going to drift southward through the night. So we're expecting that snow to last through maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in Utah County. And then Cedar City looking like later tonight, right around the midnight time frame. And that's where the most of the trouble is going to be tonight. I don't think you're going to be seeing any kind of road travel issues down in St. George. But please be safe tonight on I-15, and you might even have a couple spots that we have to clean up tomorrow morning, creating some slick conditions potentially for the morning commute. So make sure you're waking up early to get out there and shovel off your car and warm it up, and just give yourself some extra time to get where you need to go.
4:25, bright and early. You can check in with 2 News this morning to know what's going on. And obviously, it's not just the snow coming down at this good rate, but the wind and that decreased visibility, and then obviously what's happening on the surfaces. So it's really a messy situation.
Absolutely, yeah.
No matter how you look at it.
Yep.
All right, that'll do it for 2 News Live. We tried to bring it to you as much live as possible. Thanks to our crew back out here getting hit with some snow. And obviously back everyone in the studio too, moving around the cameras, making sure we could bring you a number of live looks throughout parts of northern Utah tonight. We are back again tomorrow. Have a great evening. Be safe if you're on the roads tonight.